Liz opened her eyes slowly, feeling disoriented and confused. The stark white light of the hospital room made her blink several times until she could focus her vision. The characteristic smell and the constant sound of the heart monitor beside the bed confirmed her suspicions. She was hospitalized. But why? What had happened? She tried to move, but a sharp pain in her head made her groan softly. It was then that she noticed something strange on her left hand. A golden gleam caught her attention. Liz raised her arm with difficulty and was surprised to see a delicate gold ring on her ring finger. A wedding ring. Panic began to set in. Married. She didn't remember getting married. In fact, she didn't remember much at all. Her mind felt like a dense fog, with scattered fragments of memories that made no sense. The more she tried to recall, the more confused she became. At that moment, the door to the room opened, and a tall man with brown hair and green eyes entered. His face showed a mixture of relief and concern upon seeing her awake. He quickly approached the bed, a warm smile lighting up his features. "Liz, my love, I'm so glad you woke up. We were so worried," he said, gently taking her hand between his. Liz looked at the stranger, feeling completely lost. Who was this man? Why was he calling her my love? And who were the we he was referring to? "Sorry, but who are you?" she asked hesitantly, her voice hoarse from disuse. The man's smile faltered for a moment, giving way to an expression of shock and then deep sadness. He released her hand slowly as if afraid to startle her. "Liz, it's me. Anthony. Your husband," he replied softly, the pain evident in his voice. Liz's heart raced. Husband? She had a husband and didn't remember him. What was happening? Before she could ask more questions, the door opened again and a doctor entered, accompanied by a nurse. The doctor, a middle-aged gentleman with a kind demeanor, approached the bed. "Mrs. Elizabeth, it's good to see you awake. I'm Dr. Roberts. How are you feeling?" he asked, checking the monitors beside the bed. "Confused," Liz replied honestly. "What happened to me? Why can't I remember him?" She discreetly pointed at Anthony, who remained silent, visibly shaken. The doctor exchanged a quick glance with Anthony before turning his attention back to Liz. "You had an accident at your flower shop 3 days ago. While trying to reach a beautiful flower with the help of a ladder, you lost your balance, fell from a considerable height, and hit your head on the surrounding tables. It's normal to experience some confusion and temporary memory loss after such trauma." Liz absorbed the information, trying to process everything. An accident, memory loss, a husband she didn't recognize. It was a lot to take in all at once. How much memory did I lose?" she asked hesitantly, fearing the answer. Dr. Roberts frowned thoughtfully. "It's hard to say for certain at this point. We'll need to run some exams and tests to assess the extent of the amnesia. But don't worry, in most cases memory gradually returns over time." Liz nodded, feeling a bit calmer with the doctor's explanation. She looked at Anthony, who was watching her with a mixture of love and concern in his green eyes. There was something familiar in that look, something that warmed her heart, even without understanding why. In the days that followed, Liz underwent a series of exams and consultations with specialists. The doctors confirmed that she was suffering from retrograde amnesia, having lost about 5 years of memories. 5 years. Half a decade of her life simply erased. Anthony was by her side the whole time, patient and caring, answering her questions and helping her find her bearings. He recounted how they met at a local flower fair, where Liz was selling arrangements she made herself. "You always dreamed of having your own flower shop," Anthony explained with a nostalgic smile. "We saved up for 2 years after the wedding to open the store. It's our baby." Liz listened attentively, trying to visualize this life that seemed so distant, yet so familiar at the same time. The idea of having achieved her dream of working with flowers moved her. As the days passed, Liz was discharged from the hospital and returned home, a place she did not recognize but gradually became welcoming. The house was cozy, with walls in soft tones and many plants scattered throughout the rooms. Photos of the couple decorated the shelves, showing happy moments that Liz could not remember. Anthony proved to be incredibly understanding and patient. He gave Liz space to adjust by sleeping in the guest room while she occupied the master bedroom. Every morning, he prepared a special breakfast for her, always including fresh flowers on the tray. "You used to say there's no better way to start the day than with the scent of flowers," he explained with a shy smile as he handed over the first tray. Liz was touched by the gesture. Although she couldn't remember Anthony, she could not deny he was a caring and kind man. She found herself watching him when he wasn't aware, noticing little details, the way he furrowed his brow when concentrating, the affectionate manner in which he tended to the houseplants, the smile that brightened his face when she asked a question about their past together. Gradually, a routine was established. Anthony took her on regular visits to the flower shop, where Liz spent hours admiring the flowers and chatting with the staff. The smell of roses, lilies, and jasmines seemed to awaken something inside her, as if her body remembered something her mind had forgotten. One afternoon, while arranging some vases in the shop, Liz suddenly felt dizzy. Images began to flash in her mind. She and Anthony laughing while painting the store walls, the excitement of receiving their first customer, the joy of creating a special arrangement for a wedding. "Liz, are you okay?" Anthony's concerned voice brought her back to the present. She blinked, confused, the images dissipating as quickly as they had appeared. I think I remembered something," she murmured, still dazed. Anthony's face lit up with hope. "What did you see?" Liz described the fragmented images, observing how Anthony's eyes sparkled with each detail she mentioned. "So it really happened? It wasn't just my imagination?" she asked hesitantly. "Yes, my love. All of that happened," Anthony confirmed, his voice choked with emotion. "It was one of the happiest days of our lives." That small flash of memory brought a new energy to Liz. She began to dedicate more time to the flower shop, relearning the techniques of arranging and caring for plants. To her surprise, many things seemed to come naturally, as if her body remembered what her mind had forgotten. Weeks passed, and although large parts of her memory were still hazy, Liz began to feel more comfortable in her life. She and Anthony had developed a new routine, rediscovering each other day after day. One night, while dining on their home porch, Anthony casually mentioned a nearby park where they used to have picnics on Sundays. "Want to go there tomorrow?" he asked, a touch of hope in his voice. Liz hesitated for a moment, but something inside her urged her to accept. "Yes, I'd love to," she replied with a smile. The next morning they walked hand in hand through the park, the gentle breeze carrying the scent of wildflowers. Anthony led her to a quiet spot under a large tree, where he spread out a checkered blanket and began taking snacks out of a picnic basket. As they ate and talked, Liz found herself watching Anthony more closely. The way he threw his head back when he laughed, the affectionate manner in which his eyes gazed at her, the gentle touch of his hand on hers. All of this stirred familiar sensations in her heart. Suddenly, like a bolt from the blue, another memory struck her. She saw herself in that same place, years ago, laughing as Anthony knelt on the grass, nervous and awkward, holding a small velvet box. "Anthony," she whispered, her eyes filling with tears. "This is where you proposed to me, isn't it?" Anthony's face lit up with a mixture of surprise and joy. "Yes, my love. It was right here," he confirmed, his voice trembling slightly with emotion. Liz closed her eyes, allowing the memory to completely envelop her. She remembered Anthony's nervousness, the emotional speech he had prepared, the ring shining under the sunlight. She recalled the happiness she felt saying yes, and the passionate kiss that sealed the moment. When she opened her eyes again, she found Anthony watching her with adoration. Without a second thought, Liz leaned in and kissed him softly on the lips. It was as if a current of electricity ran through her body, awakening long-dormant sensations. That kiss was a turning point. In the days that followed, more and more memories began to resurface. Some were just flashes, the smell of the cake on their wedding day, the sound of Anthony's laughter echoing through the house, the gentle touch of his hands as they danced in the living room. Other memories were more vivid and complete. Liz recalled the honeymoon on a paradise beach, the nights they stayed up late planning the opening of the flower shop, the small arguments and reconciliations that are part of any relationship. With each memory she recovered, Liz felt her love for Anthony grow and strengthen. It wasn't just the love based on the stories he told or the photos she saw, but a deep and genuine feeling that came from within her. About 2 months after the accident, on a quiet night at home, Liz decided it was time to take an important step. She prepared a special dinner, filled the house with candles and flowers, and eagerly waited for Anthony to return from work. When he walked in and saw the romantic scene, his eyes widened in surprise. "Liz, what's all this?" he asked, a smile forming on his lips. Liz approached him, taking his hands between hers. "Anthony, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me these past months. Your patience, your love, your dedication, all of it has helped me not only recover my memories, but also fall in love with you all over again." Anthony's eyes filled with tears as he listened. Liz continued, her voice choked with emotion. "I remember everything now. Our first meeting, the marriage proposal, our life together. And I realized that even if I had never regained those memories, I would have fallen in love with you anyway." She paused, taking a deep breath before continuing. "So, Anthony, my love, I wanted to know if you would accept to marry me." Again. Anthony was speechless for a moment, the emotion overcoming him. Then, with a radiant smile, he pulled her into a tight embrace. "Yes, my love. 1,000 times yes," he whispered in her ear. They kissed passionately, as if it were both the first and the 1,000th time simultaneously. In that moment, Liz knew that no matter what life brought, her love for Anthony would be strong enough to overcome any obstacle. In the months that followed, Liz and Anthony planned a vow renewal ceremony. It was an intimate and moving celebration, attended only by close family and friends. The flower shop was transformed into a true Garden of Eden for the occasion, with stunning arrangements personally created by Liz. During the ceremony, as they exchanged knowing glances and smiles, Liz felt a deep gratitude. The accident that almost took everything from her ended up being an unexpected gift. She had the rare opportunity to fall in love twice with the same person, to rediscover love, and to cherish every moment together. As they walked hand in hand among the guests after the ceremony, Liz turned to Anthony and whispered, "Thank you for not giving up on me, for making me fall in love with you every day." Anthony smiled, his eyes shining with love. "I always knew that our love was too strong to be forgotten. Even when you didn't remember me, I could see in your eyes that your heart still recognized me." Liz felt her heart fill with joy and love. She knew that no matter what the future held, she and Anthony would face it together. After all, they had proven that their love was capable of overcoming even forgetfulness. That night, as they danced slowly under the stars, surrounded by the fragrance of the flowers they loved so much, Liz and Anthony celebrated not only their renewed marriage, but also the extraordinary journey that had brought them there. A journey of rediscovery, of unconditional love, and the realization that sometimes you need to lose something to truly value what you have. And so, with hearts full of gratitude and eyes fixed on the bright future that awaited them, Liz and Anthony began a new chapter in their lives, a chapter written with the ink of love, sealed with kisses of passion, and adorned with the most beautiful flowers from their shared garden. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment with a rating from 1 to 5 to show how much you liked it. Also, watch the video that is now appearing on your screen. See you soon.